So you're new to Genshin, you're doing some 10 pulls on the current banner, and while you don't get a 5-star, you do get 4-star Yanfei. Now, what do you get with Yanfei besides Liyue's best lawyer and Kukishinobu's teacher? Well, Yanfei is a catalyst-wielding pyro user whose entire kit revolves around her charged attacks. And in this video, we're going to look at the basics of Yanfei, what you need to know to play her entire kit, some beginner artifacts, some beginner weapons. So let's get into this. Now, as you can see, I am back in front of the camera. I am doing much better. Thank you to everybody that sent well wishes. I want to say I have not been dawdling around doing nothing. I am planning on doing a you laugh, you lose challenge. And to do that, I'm going to be taking requests from people, right? We're going to make a channel on the Discord for you to post any link in there. The mods are going to go through, sift through. I'm not going to see any of them. If you make me laugh, I'll send you a welcomes. If you don't, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay to enter anything like that. The first one, we're just gonna do, anybody can send them in. I do want to limit 1 to 2 per person though. Please, certs, I'm looking at you, specifically you certs, because you would send in 20. Not gonna fly. So if you want to get in on that, go check out the Discord. There's a link down in my bio. If you're having trouble with it, copy and paste it, put it in your browser. It should take you to the Discord server. Look for the channel. It's going to be probably YL-YL, something like that. You laugh, you lose. Anyway, let's get into this video on Yanfei. So just like we do in all of these videos, we're going to look at the current build of the character that we're using. One, it could be a look at a later, late game build, or if my Yanfei is doing more damage than yours, it could be the weapon, could be the artifacts. This is a great way to tell. And yes, this actually is a very good look at a later one. Yanfei is level 70 out of 70 with almost 1400 attack, 84 EM, which is an important one, and 14,000 HP. Her crit split is 55 over 185, roughly, with over 70% on the pyro damage. Her weapon, she is running level 70, Solar Pearl. Her artifact, she is currently with a 4-piece Crimson Witch. She is C4. So what this is going to change is on her C1, we're going to use less stamina. C2 is going to be that when we use a charge attack on an enemy less than 50% HP, increase in 20% crit rate on that attack specifically. C3 is normal. C4 gives me a shield, or gives Yanfei a shield. That's why I said the HP is kind of important, because Yanfei will get a shield because of that. Outside of those 3 things, doesn't really change her playstyle, so I can proceed with this Yanfei in the basics. Her talents are 6, 9, 4. I did used to use this Yanfei a lot. My hair is turning much more green. It's going to start blending in with the green screen soon. Okay, so now we're going to go look at her kit, specifically her normal attacks and her charged attacks, because like I said, her entire kit revolves around that charged attack. Now with Yanfei being a catalyst user, her normal attacks are going to have her element pyro infused into it. It's not going to do physical damage unless you do some shenanigans. I didn't say that on the last time I did Yanfei's video. We're not doing the shenanigans in this video. It's going to be pyro. Every time that you do a normal attack, you're going to see this little seal appear behind Yanfei, up to 3. What this seal does is it is a charging mechanic for her charged attacks. The more seals you have, up to 3, the more powerful her charged attacks are. So whenever she does her charge attack, it is going to bring down this lawyer stamp. I think it's a stamp. It looks like a stamp. And that is going to do pyro damage in an AoE. So if we do her charge attack with 1 seal, we're going to get around 5,000 on a crit. If we do it with 2 seals, it's going to be around 6,000 on a crit. And with 3 seals, it is going to be 7,000 on a crit. That is what I mean by it has that charging mechanism. Also, you want to mix those normal attacks in, because Yanfei's charge attack uses a lot of stamina, right? She is a little squishy, which the shield helps a lot on whenever you use her burst. But you do have to kind of dash around a lot to make sure she's not taking too much damage. And because of that, you're using up a lot of stamina with the dashing around. So make sure that you take some time to work in some normal attacks, so that way you can regain stamina and get all of the seals for her charged attack. Now we're going to look at her skill. Her skill is going to do an AoE pyro damage onto an enemy, onto a target, and it does have some range to it. When you do this attack, it will automatically grant you 3 seals, meaning that you can immediately follow it up with a charge attack for maximum damage. Now we're going to look at her burst. And her burst is going to do an AoE pyro attack around her, hitting any enemy around her with pyro. And it is going to increase your charge attack damage and give you seals periodically. So if you do her burst and then you mix in one normal attack, you should have 3 seals to then do a charge attack. Do one normal attack, then because the burst gives you seals periodically, you should have 3 to do it. So just mix in that one single normal attack, and it should give you all 3 seals because of the burst. So that way you can then just follow it up with a charge attack, right? Like I said, everything in her kit revolves around getting her to do charged attacks. You just really got to be careful with her stamina. It's the only thing. Her stamina depletes so fast. Now I want to look at her passives. So her first passive is that whenever she consumes Scarlet Seals by using a charge attack, each Scarlet skill will increase her pyro damage bonus by 5%. So if we look at her current pyro damage bonus, it is 73.6%. If we then go and we do some normal attacks to get the seals up, and then we do a charged attack, it is going to give 5% per seal, meaning 15%. So now our pyro damage bonus is 88.6. That is the 15% from all 3 seals. Her other passive is that when her charge attack deals a critical hit to opponent, she will deal an additional instance of AoE pyro damage equal to 80% of her attack. This counts as charge attack damage. So you might have seen it as we were going through. Whenever she does it, you'll see another instance of pyro damage bonus, but I am going to get one to show up on screen right now. And as you can see, that 11,000 damage that was there was a little 3,000 in the background. We'll do it again. There was a 6,000, and behind it, you'll see a 2,000, right? So we have 6,100, and then we have a second kind of drop that was 2795. I believe that was going to be a crit on that. I might be wrong. I don't know if they can crit, but the number was big like the other crit, and it has to happen on a crit. So I believe that can crit, because I see some 1,000s mixed in there, which would be the non-crit, and then that would be the crit. If I am wrong, if that second attack cannot crit, let me know down in the comments. So now we are going to look at a beginner artifact set for Yanfei. Now, for a beginner artifact set, 4-piece martial artist. The 2-piece set is going to increase your charge attack and your normal attack damage. The 4-piece set is going to increase both of those even further. And because, like I've been saying for this whole video, her entire kit revolves around her charge attack, this is a very, very good artifact set early on. Later on, you can start looking at getting into Crimson Witch, which is what we currently have on this Yanfei. For the main stats, you want to be running an attack percent sands, a pyro damage goblet, and a crit rate or crit damage circlet, whichever one you're in more need of. For a beginner or early game weapon, I have been using Solar Pearl on her. This is a battle pass weapon. So if you do spend money for the battle pass, you can get this weapon very early on, and this is a phenomenal weapon for Yanfei. It gets up crit rate, and it's passive. She can take full use of it. If you don't want to spend money, however, which I do understand, then we have some other options. Mappa Mar is a 4-star craftable weapon, which you get at the very beginning of the game. She can make full use of the passive when triggering elemental reactions, so you can get 16% more pyro damage bonus. Elemental Mastery would be great if you're running her in a Vaporize or Melt team. Also, you do have Frostbearer. If you've gone through the trouble of getting Frostbearer from Dragonspine, you should have some other options that might be better for Yanfei than Frostbearer itself. While it does look cool, it's not that great of a weapon. For a 3-star weapon, you do have Twin Nephrite. It does get up crit rate. It's passive. Defeating an opponent increases movement speed and attack by 20%. Yanfei can take full advantage of that as well because you want attack on her and crit rate. Next, you have Emerald Orb, which gets up Elemental Mastery, good for Vaporize and Melt. If you cause the Vaporize reaction, it increases the attack by 40%. All of those 3 stars are at R5, so if you have one at R1, it might be a little bit lower. Now we're going to look at a basic party for Yanfei. And for that, we have Yanfei, Amber, Kaya, Barbara. Specifically Amber for Pyro Resonance. Increases attack by 25% if you have 2 Pyro characters in your party. Yanfei wants that. Amber can do a little bit of grouping with her skill. Other than that, we're not going to be using Amber. We might use Baron Bunny just a little bit, but it's really just to get that extra attack. Kaya and Barbara are there for Vaporize and Melt reactions and some healing. So as you can see, we're going to be running around, causing melts and Vaporize with Yanfei. Yanfei is going to be our on-field main damage dealer, with Kaya and Barbara offering off-field elements for us to react with. So Barbara's going to be our healer. We want to keep that skill up. We want to keep that burst ready in case Yanfei drops below a certain amount of HP. Kaya, we want to swap him on every now and then to get some energy so that way we can use his burst as well. Because these are rather close off-field elemental applicators, we have to run around, we have to get close to the enemy, which does take away from Yanfei being able to do ranged attack with her normal attacks, charge attacks, and skill. So it does kind of limit you, but this does show kind of the basis of a team where you want to have some healing because she is a little squishy. You want to have melt reactions or vaporize reactions. In this team, we are having both. If you want to look at a more advanced or a more complete team for Yanfei, then we're going to have Yanfei, Xingqiu, somebody like Kazuha for some grouping, as well as Animo swirling with the VV set, and then Benny being our second pyro and our healer and our buffer, right? So with that, we can use Kazuha to group enemies, Xingqiu's burst to be able to cause vaporize reactions with Yanfei. It's a little harder to get the timing down, but you should still be able to do it. Bennett for healing and for his burst support, giving Yanfei a much higher attack buff than just the pyro resonance. So we're going to be using Kazuha to group enemies together over Bennett's burst, so that way Yanfei can take the field, use her skill straight into a charge attack, and get a large chunk of damage done right away. Then we want to get Xingqiu's burst ready so that way we can use it with Yanfei's normal attacks to apply the hydro, and then vaporize off of that. So that is going to be it for this video. If you do have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.